Hey everybody, it's Thursday, which means it's another episode of Naturally Unbothered. I am Shari.
I am Ebony.
And we have the author of the book series, Swinging into BDSM, The Swinger's Guide to Respectful and Successfully Navigating the Basics. She is the House of Wonderland's host and she produced the Mad Tea Party. Mm-hmm. She is the head coordinator for Fuckcation Lifestyle Events. Yes. She is, and she brought some dick with her. She is Mistress Leah.
Hello.
But she's also a dominatrix, y'all. Welcome, Mistress Leah.
Lovely to meet you, doll.
Okay, Miss Leah, you brought penis to the show. Please introduce your penis.
My particular brand of peen is also a co-founder of what is called House of Wonderland that we'll talk about later on. BDSM House. I am Mistress Leah. This is Sir Wendell.
Hello.
Sir Wendell.
He is apparently the peen of the episode.
Yeah.
So he is the penis of the episode.
So since I am the penis, I'm going to refer to you as Vag 1, Miss Green, and Vag 2, Miss Sims. That's what we're going to do.
We will take it because no one has ever referred to us as Vag anything.
That's what it is. For the evening, that's what it is.
Now that everyone has their titles.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get this party started. First of all, we haven't had any BDSM people or individuals or lifestyle individuals on the show, and probably the beginning of 2022. Yeah, 2022. So we are so excited, very elated to have you guys on the show. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to start us out. Tell us what you guys do. Why the hell are y'all a sir and a mistress? Tell us. Why are y'all deserving of those titles?
So to explain it, we're gonna dive into the world of BDSM, and what myself and my partner are gonna be doing is explaining a lot of the basic terms when it comes to BDSM people and what we do and what we're about, and why we use this certain terminology. So in BDSM, you have what are called dominance, and most female dominance are called mistress, a goddess, or whatever honorarium, and most male dominants are either a sir or a master. And when we say that, it is not out of ego or trying to make anybody insubordinate to us. Doesn't mean you serve us, you have nothing to do with us. But it's much like if you meet, if you go out and somebody says, hey, I'm Professor Green, or I'm Principal such and such, I'm Dr. Smith. It's simply a title, and it refers to what we do. And so when he says he's Sir Wendell, he means he's BDSM and he's a dominant. That is all it means. When I say I'm Mistress Leah, I'm BDSM, I'm a dominant, I'm a female. That's all that means.
Now, you weren't always a mistress.
I was not. Very true.
You were not. So tell us how you came about to go from being a submissive to a dominant, because a lot of people don't know that the roles can change.
Absolutely. So what happened with me was I started out vanilla, totally vanilla, meaning I was not a part of any alternative lifestyle at all. Joe Schmo chick from around the way. And I got into swing, and I became a swinger going on 12, 13 years ago. I got into swing, and during my time in the swing lifestyle, I was at a club one night, and I was in the basement, and they were doing BDSM, which I had never seen. I had never known a whole lot about. So that was my first introduction that night. And after that night and my experience there, I started doing more research. I started figuring out where the dungeons were around where I lived at the time and just wanted to know a whole lot more about it. And so when I decided I wanted to do that, I was told, well, being a submissive is the best position that you can learn from if you're trying to get into BDSM. So I said, okay, cool. I'm a submissive. I'll start there. And I don't regret it at all. I had a lot of bad experiences with dominance when I was a submissive, and I learned a lot about what not to do. And I learned a lot about manipulation that could happen and just a lot of life experiences for somebody who wants to be in the BDSM lifestyle. And I had so many people when I got into a site called FetLife, which is for BDSMers, to ask me about dominating them and doing things to them. And as a submissive, I didn't feel comfortable initially, but eventually I gave it a try. Well, I did it, and I started to get to realize over time that submitting and being a submissive was not fulfilling to me. It almost kind of turned into something I was supposed to do because that was a title I had.
It was like your gateway to learning, but what you learned.
Yeah. And I said, well, you know, in any alternative lifestyle, you try things and you find stuff that is your niche and lights you up and you really enjoy and you really look forward to. And submission just became that less and less for me. And so I dabbled in domination and I found purpose and I found my own submissives and I found my happy place and where I was comfortable. And that is where I have been ever since.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So, Sir Wendell, what about you? How did you get this surname? Were you a submissive first, or have you always been dominant?
I was not. In my vanilla life, I was always an as they call it, alpha. Always alpha in my vanilla life. So it was like I started out in swing, and also even before I started off in swing, I was always doing alpha type shit, like a lot of things in BDSM that I do now. I didn't even know I was doing it. I didn't even know there was a sex called BDSM when I was doing it. So it was like, wow. Once I learned about BDSM, I'm like, I've been doing most of this shit already. So it wasn't really a major change for me. Understanding the rules / protocols and how you go about doing everything in a safe manner was the only change. Well, it wasn't a change. It was a more, you had to morph into basically trying to get learning the protocols and how to do things safely. So after that, it was like, this is what came natural to me because I've always been a dominant natured individual. So it's been I started off in swing about 10, 11 years ago, and I've started dabbling in BDSM 7, 8 years ago and learning more and learning more and learning more. And now I've blossomed into who I've become today. So that's it.
So tell us about the House of Wonderland, because that just sounds, the name, how did y'all pick the name? Because it just sounds like, I just want to go.
Well, we were here at House of Wonderland headquarters, and we had met each other, and we were both already into BDSM. We were both already dominants, and we just clicked in a lot of ways. And I told him, you know, I want to start a house. And to explain what a house is, if you think about your fashion industry, you might have House of Darion, House of whatever it is. If you ever watch Drag Race or you're into drag, you'll see they all come up with houses of RuPaul, House of whatever it is. And in BDSM, it's the same thing. So a house is pretty much just a collection of people with shared goals and an organization that focuses around BDSM, education, performance, getting together, doing scenes, all those sort of things. And so I wanted to organize a house. And I will always say arguably, because I refuse to accept this truth. I'm arguably obsessed with
his face
Alice.
is like bullshit.
Yes, I am
already.
arguably obsessed with Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
And I my alter ego is the Mad Hatter.
Got it.
So
It's a cute hat too. I love it.
Super cute. Yeah.
So I said, well, I want to find it. And he said, well, call it House of Wonderland. I was like, that's too plain. Somebody else has it. They didn't. And so we built on from there. And so it is a BDSM house centered around education, classes, performances, sessions, stations, all those things that we do. And that is how we came up with the name. I am the Mad Hatter. He is the Black Rabbit. And other members of our house have their own house names.
I love
That's
it.
really dope.
It's so dope. Have you guys ever been to Portland, Oregon?
I've never.
No, never.
So in case you don't know, Portland, Oregon is the kink capital of the United States.
Is it? Okay.
There is a district that is, my numbers might be off, but at least 5 miles in circumference where you can take classes on BDSM. You can go to shows, you can go to the little rooms and watch the videos. You can, like, it's dope. So that, like, I've always known about BDSM. I've always considered myself a very dominant person. But I had the opportunity to work there for 6 weeks. So while I worked, I also learned and went to classes. I just was thinking, BDSM is just this. No, I learned about, developing the consent. Like, I learned that even though I'm dominant, I'm not the one to run the shit. The submissive person is. Like, I learned so much. Like, so I do challenge you both to Google it and find out when the conferences are and go to Portland, Oregon. Like, it was mind blowing. I came back to the show and I was like, I learned this and I know how to do this. And it was just a very great experience for me. So I have been longing to have someone on the show or someone's on the show that could explain it and, give our listeners a little more light into it other than me just learning some shit and be like, hey, this is what I learned. So I think it's so dope. And I appreciate you guys for being on the show.
Sure.
And there's other things that you do. You have a book or a series of books.
I do, and you're spilling secrets. No, but I do have a book series swinging into. And as I explained, I started off in swing. I ventured off into BDSM, and since then I have learned about the world of polyamory and poly relationships and etc. And so on top of simply wanting to start a BDSM house, when we met, we were both already poly. Open poly, all the way poly. We both were. And so we said, we want to start an organization that kind of is the crossroads between the three, swing, poly, BDSM.
Yeah, because everyone automatically thinks as soon as you say swinging, they be like, oh, y'all just be fucking everybody. Like, it's so much more.
It is. Yeah.
What was you about to say, Sir Wendell?
No, I said that kills me just when people first thing they think is just everything is just a big orgy. You walk in and everybody just strips and takes the clothes off and everybody's trying to, it's so not.
Right.
That's so not what it's about. And people need to get that understanding that is absolutely not what it's about. Part of the book is about explaining different misconceptions and dispelling different misconceptions about swing and BDSM together.
Awesome.
Is there a wide African American presence of the lifestyle in Ohio?
Which lifestyle?
The BDSM.
We're working on it.
You're
working on it.
Okay.
We work a whole lot. We work a little bit more in Indiana than we do in Ohio, but we work Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Michigan, anywhere near. We'll be in South Carolina next weekend. We work a lot of different places, and so if we don't find it where we are, we go where it is, or we set up shop somewhere that the community is very scarce, like here.
We're gonna do research on
Absolutely. There we go.
What's cracking with that out there? So that's what's up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, okay. I have to say this because I know our listeners are wondering, how do two dominant people become partners? How? Who is what and what is who, and how the hell does it work?
So the misconception of BDSM, let me start with dominance and submission. A misconception is that people who are dom and sub are romantically involved and they are sexually involved. Domination and submission is not inherently romantic. It is not inherently sexual. I have had submissive slaves, everything in between. He has his own. That has nothing to do with our romantic life.
Oh.
I don't date my submissives. I personally do not sleep with my submissives. Certain dominants do, that's their business. Knock yourself out. You will have times where there is a dom and sub couple who are married or who are life partners or who do build things together, wonderful, lovely. But it is not the cornerstone of BDSM, domination and submission. What that is about is power exchange. It is about power exchange and two consenting adults getting into something to feed their need for whatever it is. You need structure, you need direction, you go out and seek a dominant, you need to give structure, you need to give support, education, help somebody develop themselves, you need to nurture, you might be on the side of dominant. And so that's what dominance and submission is about. When I met this young man, it was not in the field of power exchange at all. And so we happen to both already be into BDSM. We happen to both have a history in swing, and we happen to both identify as being polyamorous. And so that had nothing to do with our romantic life. And thank you for that question, because a lot of people get that twisted.
I do have something to add. Like, people always give us that question, how do two doms coexist? This is the dope part about it to me. The dope part about it to me is that your level of compromise has to be up here. And if you know anything about relationships have to be built on compromise and communication. So the level of compromise for two dominants to have and to be able to coexist with each other is a different level, because you can have a submissive partner that is your love partner, whatever, but the level of compromise, you don't have really a level of compromise. Whichever the dominant one, that's the one that controls the compromise. The submissive one doesn't necessarily control the compromise. Whereas us both being dominant, it forces you to find a happy medium within your understanding, and it's just the dopest level of compromise and understanding that you can have. So
how long have you two been together?
That was my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stole your question.
We've been together at least a few minutes.
Great minds. How many years did you guys say?
At least a few minutes.
A few minutes? At least a few minutes?
At least a few minutes. We like to keep them guessing.
I respect it.
Definitely.
Oh, wow.
Definitely.
I respect it. Okay.
It's dope shit, though. Just understand that.
So what is something that you guys want people to know about the House of Wonderland and about y'all that you wouldn't ordinarily just share? Just share a little secret with us, just a little something.
Oh,
we're not good with sharing secrets. I want to do want everybody to know that we are both very open individuals. Anybody can come talk to us. The aim of our thing is the bridge between swing and the BDSM lifestyle, and we have no problem with helping to educate others on how to navigate through swing and BDSM, or meshing the two, or even poly. And we teach classes, we do demos, we do a little bit of everything as far as trying to make sure we educate the community on how things really are, not just the 50 Shades portion of what you see on TV, et cetera, et cetera.
Because everyone really thinks that's just it. And it's like so much more.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's a chapter in the book that we just released, Swinging into BDSM, about 50 Shades. And it's called 50 Shades of Bullshit. for a very good reason.
Okay.
So my question is, do you guys travel to teach the class?
Absolutely. So we teach different classes, but we teach classes surrounding certain elements of the book itself, but the book is kind of a separate entity. But yes, we teach classes on the basics of domination and submission. We're teaching 2 classes coming up in June in Indianapolis. One of them is explaining submission, and the other one is explaining domination specifically from a swingers point of view. But we also bring in vanilla, because we were both vanilla at one time in our lives, so we can break it down that way too.
For the people who don't know what
go ahead,
vanilla is, for the people who don't know what vanilla is, can you kind of explain what vanilla is?
Vanilla is non-BDSM individual, just like you would say somebody, if you're a hustler or you're a square. Like a square would be an equivalent of vanilla.
Okay.
Now that's BDSM speak.
Yeah,
if you're
BDSM.
talking to a swinger, a vanilla is somebody who's not a swinger. You're talking to poly, a vanilla is somebody who's totally monogamous emotionally and everything. So all the 3 lifestyle, BDSM, swing, and poly, refers to vanilla as just somebody who's not a member of that community.
Okay, I'm vanilla to all of those communities.
It's all good. We love you just the same.
I am not.
Okay.
We need to bring Vag 2 in. Vag 2. Vag 2, we need to get broken in.
I know. I want to be in the community. I don't like being left out.
The thing about Vag 2 is the thing about her is she once upon a time was bisexual. She is very, very open.
I am open like a book.
She's very open. And it's not something that she would be opposed to. It's just that she has not been exposed or had the opportunities to grow those lifestyle entities within herself.
Yeah.
But she definitely has identified them all. Don't think she ain't identifying them all. She knows they're there.
No, no, that's fine.
You've been spanked before, Vag 2?
Huh?
Have you been spanked before, Vag 2?
Spanked. I've been spanked, choked, slapped, called the whole bitch slut.
That's what I
said.
She's of the life.
Beat the hell out of me.
Experience it freely.
Okay.
Yeah. I am not vanilla in the sense of it being vanilla. It's just now things have changed a little bit.
Okay.
She is in a monogamous marriage.
That
is what changed.
Now is that your preference, being monogamous?
She gonna say it on camera, yes.
He knows her.
Oh,
yeah. He knows.
Yeah.
I think that if there was an opportunity for some extras,
my answer for your question is she grew into monogamy.
Okay.
That is true.
Sometimes
you grew into monogamy because she was not.
This is the only relationship that I've been
ever monogamous in.
I'm happy that you found somebody to fulfill you
And
to
where
you're cool with that.
I am polyamorous. I have a partner. I currently do not have a girlfriend, but I am definitely dating. I'm bisexual. I have been polyamorous since it wasn't even a thing. First of all, it's always been a thing, but before it got a title, I have always been this way, all the way from my 20s. I'm 45 now, so I am in it.
Look amazing.
And I have a partner who is in it and supports it. We date separately. We want to date together. It just don't be panning out because in our case, we are connection people. And so we feel like we have to have a connection before it goes sexual. And the stigmatism or the quote unquote, what everybody thinks, oh, you just want to have sex. everybody we encounter want to have the sex first, because we are both very sexual people. We're both attractive. We're both attractive, and they automatically think. And then when we don't turn on the sexual straight up, they be like, what the fuck?
Know, yeah.
They don't get it. But it's like, we need to have a connection with you. As soon as we have the connection, we're gonna turn you out. But we need the connection first.
Right.
Look, so it look like.
Where are y'all ladies from? I didn't catch that.
So we are from Oklahoma. Originally, but now I am in Birmingham and she is in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all heard of Muskogee?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How's the fam out there?
Yeah.
Okay, Muskogee.
Okay, Muskogee, Oklahoma. Yeah, we're familiar with it, but yeah. So it's all, we end up dating someone 3-4 months. We be all in a date. We be all great into it, and they be like, so why haven't we had sex? And it's just like, we are waiting for that thing.
Yeah, and you just gotta. It's a shot in the dark. It's a shot in the dark when you pursue partners who are not self-proclaimed. I guess you guys will be looking for solo poly initially, at least.
I mean, it doesn't. Because we are open to dating couples. Like, we
see, dating is different, and that's the one of the problems. I say at the middle of the triangle. So if you got a chick who meets a couple, if she's vanilla, she's probably gonna be thinking threesome. If she is swinger, she's probably gonna be thinking, I'm dating a couple. If she's poly, she's thinking, I'm looking for a partner. So you gotta be clear. She has to be clear on who she is before she meets y'all.
And that's the thing. We can't find, we have not found the person who knows exactly who she is, because we know who we are. We've identified, you know, and the other thing is, one of the young ladies that we dated, she was great, but she said, I've never been courted. It creeps me out. You guys court me. It's the way of the world now. People don't court. They
might have a problem knowing how to accept. Yeah.
He's used to being slutted out.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I wasn't gonna say that, but that's exactly what it is. Folks they used to being slutted out. That's it.
When they're pursued, they expect it to be sexual. And if
but
it's
the
not
thing
sexual,
is,
they're like,
we will slut you out. We will slut you out. But we just need to make that connection first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we can slut you out. There's no problem with that. But we're just not going to just meet you and slut you out.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to get slutted out first and then build a relationship on that. And we don't want to build a relationship on sex. We want to build it on a foundation first. And then we can slut each other out. We can all walk around here, be sluts and hoes and whatever the fuck you need me to be. We'll be it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, he has been poly since his late 20s as well. So we are kind of paralleling that, and we just kind of both want the same stuff. And so we're just not going to settle. And so we're just patient, because I feel like patience will get us where we need to be.
It will. Yeah.
We have some good experiences though in between.
I'm trying to be a dominatrix.
You? What's up? What you want to know?
To be tying people up and having the whip and chain. Thank you, babe. And having the whips and chains and all that in my black leather suit.
That's what you're trying to have?
Yes. And my little flogger.
My first question to you is that going to be something for fun, or that's something that you feel like really fits your personality? Because a lot of people will get into it in that particular manner just for fun. Is that what really suits your personality? Just like she said, that person needs to know themselves first before they come to you like that. Now, do you feel like you know yourself enough that is what you truly will enjoy, or something you do for fun?
I feel like I know myself enough to know that I will be having a funky motherfucking good time.
It's her personality. It's always been her personality. She married somebody vanilla.
Oh,
I don't know how it happened.
And
it just happened.
And thank you for pointing that out, because that's something we talked about, and I think it's about the first chapter of the book is terminology. So I also talk about the difference between having a dominant personality and being cut out to be a dominant in BDSM. They're very different things, because there is a such thing you'll hear as an alpha submissive or an alpha slave. So this is a person where day to day, they are in charge, they run shit, they're comfortable there, they do their thing, they are the last word in a lot of their relationships a lot of the times, but in the BDSM power exchange realm,
they want to give that shit up.
They want a relief. They're in charge.
They want to give up that power.
They want someone to give them a day off.
Yes,
honestly, and that's what they look at. And so having a dominant personality doesn't mean that you're a dominant, and what qualifies as a dominant in BDSM, and again, thank you for bringing this up, is responsibility. Because I can be one who is very good, and my personal submissive now, she is the whole ass matriarch of her family. Balls to the wall. She runs everything. She organizes all the healthcare. She gets the kids, all of her grandkids enrolled in school. She does everything.
She got a lot of them.
Yes, she has many children and many grandchildren, but she doesn't want the additional responsibility of, I got all this going on in my own family. Now I'm going to get home and I have a submissive I also have to worry about, or I got a slave. Now if you're another person I have to worry about taking care of, I want to be taken care of. That's where my submissive is coming from. And so that's a difference between having a dominant personality or being an alpha. Doesn't necessarily mean that you want the responsibility of being a dominant in the BDSM world. And you
wouldn't even learn that if you hadn't have been the submissive to figure it out. Like, that's,
being a submissive gave me a lot of insight, firsthand insight as to what a bad dominant is and what submissives want to feel and why submissives are here. That's what this submissive experience gave me. But I also want to be clear that there's also a misconception, like you got to be a submissive first in order to be a good dominant or to be an effective dominant. I have a very good girlfriend of mine, Mistress Crush. She's out of Chicago, and a submissive bone in her damn body. This woman has birthed many, I won't get in her business, many children and grandchildren, and she is her own matriarch, and my submissive happens to be her mother. Crush is in charge all day long and wants to be in charge some more when it comes to having her own submissive. She runs scenes. She has her own house. She wants to do that. That is just who she is. So let me also say, you do not have to submit to be a good dominant. She is one of my very, very dearest best friends. But I did, and it gave me a lot of insight into when I had my own submissives, how to treat them, talk to them every day, give them an opportunity, give them tasks, because if you don't give them tasks, they don't have a chance to do a good job. If they don't have a chance to do a good job, I don't have a reason to praise them. I have to give them an opportunity for that vehicle of what it is they want out of power exchange and out of their lifestyle. And it's my job as a dominant to give them a vehicle to experience why they're here, and in exchange, feed why I'm here. That makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It does. So my next question to you guys is, what is your favorite thing about your lifestyle? Because, there's a lot of aspects of, you guys used to swing, or do you still swing?
I do not.
Okay. So like, what is your favorite thing about the lifestyle that makes you just like, oof?
The BDSM lifestyle?
Yeah.
That makes us feel content, or that is
content. It just gives you life that just want to continue it. Like, what is it?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah,
I would say,
okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know. It's just it's just a rush. It just gives, I don't know. I can't, it's hard to explain because it kind of gives me a rush. I just love doing what I do. Like, you know how you could be passionate about something, very, very passionate about something, and you can't really put your finger on exactly. There's no one thing that makes you passionate about it. Like some people are passionate about football, and it could be because they like hitting people or because they like catching the ball. But you can't put one thing into it. Me, as far as BDSM, is just, it just gives me a different kind of rush that I don't get from too many other things in life. So it's just something I'm passionate about.
The same here. It gives me a sense of purpose as the dominant, knowing, having that firsthand knowledge of having been a submissive, like you mentioned. I have an opportunity to be somebody's, we both do, somebody's first impression of BDSM, somebody's first impression of power exchange. And I have an opportunity to make sure a submissive who comes my way and that I click with doesn't have to have those same bad experiences that I do, and has a very clear picture of what this lifestyle is about and what it centers around and what it is not. And what it is not is 50 Shades.
So I just want to say something just really quickly. Like, so both of you seem like really sexy people, but I can't see your whole faces. So if y'all could just scoot in.
Oh, just swipe over one, Ebony.
I've already swiped over. They're still very apart. And so I just can't see the full face. Oh yeah, y'all cute. Oh, and you got a long tongue. Okay.
You stupid girl.
Can you see us, ma'am?
Yeah, I just swiped to have you guys my centerpiece, so I can see. I've seen both of you all together, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will say, because I'm not into BDSM. I like to peg people, but I'm really not into BDSM.
Oh,
I would love
Sir Wendell
to be what?
Go on.
I would love to be into BDSM, but I am a person that I'm a perfectionist, and it would just consume me. It would just take over. So I just have to do things in spurts. But I know me. And so, but I do love to peg men. And it's not even to degrade them. I've never done it maliciously, degraded them or anything. It's always done in a very loving way, which is the reason why I'm able to continue to peg people. And so
absolutely use it for evil.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, Vag too is a fucking demon. You're a savage, yo.
Use that power for evil. I will.
You're a fucking savage.
Yes, she would do it just for evil, just to be like, and I'm not that person. Like, I'm nurturing by nature. So yes. I want to nurture when I do it. I want it to be an experience. My first experience was was with a person who just allowed me to just love him through it. I didn't love him, but I just gave him all the love. And it just showed me how, if you present it the right way and you treat it in the right way, how accepting it is. And it was just great. So now I just want to peg all men. I feel like,
and that's fine. And that is I thank you for bringing that up, because domination has so many sides. And
it does.
Multifaceted. And what you're describing is probably more of what we call a top. And so a top does not have to be a dominant. You don't have to have submissives up under you and be responsible for them and teach and nurture and educate. A top is just a person who gives an action. Okay. And you'll hear this term in the gay community. They're talking about sexually, BDSM. We're talking about who's paddling you, who's flogging you, who's pegging you, that sort of thing. So the bottom is just somebody who receives action. So you might just be a peg top. That's fine. Yeah. You don't have to be consumed in BDSM. You don't have to identify as BDSM. That might be a sexual kink of yours. And when kink wise, you're a peg top, and that's fine. You don't have to be anything more than
I didn't think that I didn't think it was something that I was going to be able to do again. You know what I'm saying? I found it was a person, I had the opportunity, but then years later, he got married. He got married and he was like, can you show my wife how to do this?
Yeah, because a lot of times when you tap into kinks that you never thought you would be into, or some of you never heard of, they don't want to let it.
Mistress
Leah.
Leah.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's cool. No, because I don't do that. Disclaimer, would never do this with him. But that is something that other guys
nope.
consent to that kind of play. I am all the way down, and I have done it many times, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it is. Hey, some people they try out things and say, damn, I'm really into this. And then they just find other partners who happen to be into it. And sometimes they just get together for that one activity and call it a day.
And it was both of our first experience with it. I've always, I'm going to say this, and this might not sound the greatest, but I've always been fascinated with men and they assholes because men are so, the reason why, Sir Wendell, is because men are so standoffish.
I hear you. Talk to me. You're good. Go ahead.
They're so standoffish. They be like, oh, wait. Oh,
yeah.
You know, everything to keep you away from it. So one day, so one day he was just like, what do you think about this? And I was like, I want to do it, but I don't know how you were going to react. And it was literally,
I want to do it.
Yeah. I want to do it, but I don't know how you're going to react. And so he was like, let's try some stuff. So we did it started out with the rimming, it just, then the tongue on it, and then the little finger, and it just progressed.
Gradually,
It progressed gradually, and to the point where he was like, let's try it. And I just want to say this, Sir Wendell, so you can understand. I've never pegged him.
Good.
I have never pegged him with a whole dildo. Like, I feel like the dildo is fucking. I'm sorry. I know people don't feel that way, but I feel like if you use a long dick, you fucking somebody. I do. I know that might not be politically correct, but I'm just saying. So a pegger is like, it's just small. It's like just like the size of a butt plug.
That's still pretty big.
It's still pretty big, but it's not a whole dick. Like,
it's what they consent to, and she consents to doing.
Right. So I have never fucked a man. I will say that with a whole dildo or nothing. It's only
the
just
Lord knew what he was doing when he made me.
That peg is fucking. I'm sorry. That peg. That's some smooth it over shit. I'm not gonna fuck you. I'm just gonna peg you. The fuck?
Because it's no more than the doctor sticking their finger in there to touch your prostate.
That is for a medical.
The doctor don't fuck you when they check your prostate.
No, some people. Okay, that's what's up.
You done had your prostate checked and you ain't never said, oh, I went to the doctor and I got fucked. No, you never have.
They have a blood test now that they can do it without penetrating you, is the one that I got.
Oh, really?
Yes. And if your levels are off afterwards.
Oh, your PSA levels.
Go for the regular exam.
I'm going to check your levels before the test.
Hell no, Gina. Hell no.
She looked sweet, didn't she? But she turned into a Sour Patch Kid.
My kind of gal. My kind of gal. That's my friend right there.
You said you kind of gather, Leah.
My kind of gal. My kind of gal.
Okay, so listen, Sir Wendell, I have to ask you this because we ask every male every penis, every dick, every male that has ever been on this show. I always have to ask this. Do you like your legs thrown back?
No. Not a fan.
No eating the booty like groceries.
No, I'm not a fan.
He's totally straight, like all the way.
Not a fan.
That's so
Call me
disappointing.
boring. Call
Another,
me boring.
another beauty of being a double dominant couple is any kinks of mine that I have with a man that might be seen as not so straight, I can get fulfilled by somebody else.
Right.
And he's, hey, babe, go do your thing. And have fun, and just make sure that you're safe and you make it home.
Yeah, I would definitely have to go outside of the home. That is definitely something I have to go to the home for, because me and my husband, he be trying to square up. Like, he is not having it.
You can find a partner, honey. Listen, there is, like they say, there's somebody for everybody.
Absolutely.
Any kink you can think to have, there is somebody who will be down.
Yes.
With letting you do it with
Yeah, because we be talking about them on the show. We have unleashed some kinks on here that have made all of us come
listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Clutching your pearls. Yes. Yes.
So we always have a topic. We're gonna do a quick topic, and then we're gonna let you guys tell everybody how to follow you, how to find you, what to do. So we're just gonna throw this topic in real quick, and then we're gonna let y'all go. And then maybe Sir Wendell might want to figure out if he want to be pegged just a little bit.
205-308-8304 if you guys want to get to Sir Wendell. 205-308-8304 to get to Sir Wendell.
Okay.
Hey, like what? What you signed me up for? This happens. I don't know if Mistress Leah told you to check out an episode, but we put men on the spot because we don't have that many dicks on the show, so we got to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I just watched a little bit of one just a second ago. Yeah.
All right. So the question is, would you date someone who was not interested in your lifestyle in any shape, way, or form, but the vibe, the energy was good?
Long time, I don't think it would last, because this is, if they're not, well, hold on. Now, if they're not interested and they don't judge me for what I'm into, it's possible. I don't know if it'll work long term, but I'd probably give it a go. But long term, because I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. I got too much invested, too much money invested, too much time invested, too much of my life that I give to it. I have regular clients that come through a couple times a week and pay for my services. That individual, and it's like usually 2-hour sessions.
I'm trying to get paid.
So I'm sorry.
I said I'm trying to get paid. That's all. Go ahead.
So yes, we're both pro dom.
Yeah, we do it professionally.
We do it professionally. So it would probably get to be a little too much for a vanilla individual to be able to take it. So long term, no.
It would be a no for me, to answer your question. Go on.
It'll be a no for you as well?
No, ma'am. No. I could not do it. No.
It wouldn't sustain, because nobody would.
It's so much of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. Look at us. It is too much of who I am for my partner to not be open to it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And they have to understand, if I have male submissives and slaves, I can't have a partner who's getting jealous because they think I'm trying to love them.
Exactly.
I'm trying to run off with them. He has his own submissive slaves partners, because we're poly as well. He couldn't be, I don't think you could, long term with a partner who was not down with,
no,
who was not herself poly and had her own chick on. I couldn't. No.
Yeah.
You're a trooper. Yeah. I could not.
Okay. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to tell everyone how to follow you both. And just tell our listeners what to do, how to follow you, where to go.
Okay, so we have a website, houseofwonderland.org. That is where you can find where we're going to be working next, what parties we're going to be attending, Our own parties, we have an annual Mad Tea Party, which is a BDSM event. We have once a year, so we have next year. We are on May 20th, 2023, Mad Tea Party. So you can find tickets and information on houseofwonderland.org. We are on Instagram, house_of_wonderland. We're on TikTok, House of Wonderland INC or House of Wonderland Inc. We are on FetLife, House O Wonderland, because they wouldn't let us add extra F. It was too many letters. So we're there. We are on Fuckcation Lifestyle Events website, which is a overall alternative lifestyle website. So you'll find BDSM, poly, and swing there under House of Wonderland. So you can find us on all of those places and send us the DMs for a chat.
Awesome. We thank you both for coming on the show, being so candid, giving yourself freely, although we didn't get to throw his legs back. There's always a part two. So, so we plan on having a dungeon party for New Year's.
Are you? What state?
It's not. It's a Zoom party.
It's Zoom. It's a Zoom party.
It's a Zoom party. So we are inviting you two to be a part. December the 27th.
Okay.
Perfect.
Be a part of our dungeon party. We are going to play games. We are going to dress the part, and we are going to just have fun. And we have to tell you both that we need you to bring your favorite sex toy to the party.
Hey, I have a question.
Cool.
Okay.
Am I allowed to do a live demo while the party's going on?
We would love for you to do a live demo. December 27th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Please have whomever, whatever. Please, we would love it.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having us on.
Absolutely.
And any other kink or BDSM episodes, if one of us or both of us could come and chime in or yield some insight and explain some things, that is what we love to do. The central purpose of what we do is education.
Yes.
So
yes. And I mean, if you
much.
guys want to come on the show in the new year and give a class, we definitely have people. Yeah, we definitely have listeners. We have over 17,000 listeners. That is a lot of people that, like, I mean, they've been following us for 4 years, and just, you know, they would love it. So definitely,
if I may just also say that I'm so proud of you, Queens, for developing your following, for starting this channel, for having your podcast, for doing your thing, and for having the audacity to be who you are and introduce that to the world and give so many vanilla people hope, because there's so many vanillas like I'm curious about this lifestyle, that lifestyle, and what this and that means, and y'all are giving them a vehicle to learn privately, even if it's under the covers at night. They're watching your your videos. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, and we are here for you guys and behind you 100%. Thank you.
Our objective is to save all relationships,
all of
by
them,
learning from us, through us, or from someone else. However we can save it. We are into Black love. We love Black love. We love Black relationships in all of its form. So we can help someone save their relationship by learning about sex, getting comfortable with their bodies, introducing people, and telling them about everything, so
learning
they can
positions,
every single last of their options. And they should do that. And we want them to be able to do it here.
We've posted positions for disabled people, for people in wheelchairs. Like
and that's so important. They're so overlooked.
Thank you, Queen. Says we try to save everybody. We have to save a home out here.
Yes. That is so important. That's something nobody talks about.
Friends.
That community. Thank you guys. Thank y'all. But keep right on. I am here for it, and I love you both. And on behalf of your thousands of listeners, thank y'all for creating that outlet where people could at least learn, even if they're scared to ask the questions.
Yes. Go ahead, Ebony, take us out.
You can follow Naturally Unbothered on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. You can email us at naturallyunbothered2@gmail.com. That is naturallyunbothered2@gmail.com. We welcome the feedback, the show ideas, the comments, Ebonites. You know how I love your advice requests. We'll keep them coming. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Audible, iHeart, or wherever you listen to your podcast. We should be your #1 favorite podcast. So make sure you're watching us on YouTube. You're rating, you're subscribing, you're leaving a review, and you're selecting the notification bell so you are notified every Thursday when we drop new episodes. And on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m., you should be in that chat box chatting with us live because we like to chat with y'all hoes. So do it with us, please. If you're looking for Naturally Unbothered merch, we have tees, we have caps, we have shot glasses. Tell your whole ass friends. We have coffee mugs. We have all kind of teas. So please make sure you go to www.naturallyunbothered.com and click the merch link. That is www.naturallyunbothered.com and click the merch link. Now, we have a phone number. If you want to call in for a show request, if you want to send in your Ebonite letters, you can do that. If you want to get closer to Sir Wendell, if you want to meet Mistress Leah, whatever you want to do, we can connect you 205-308-8304. That is 205-308-8304. Let's get those numbers popping. Now, I need y'all to tell your hoe ass friends, to tell their hoe ass friends, to tell their hoe ass friends to tune into Naturally Unbothered.
That part.
Okay, every day.
That's right.
He says that all the time, hoe ass friends. Y'all are like
your hoe ass
soulmates.
friends to tune the fuck in.
Yes.
All right. Again, we thank you, Mistress Leah and Sir Wendell, House of Wonderland. We appreciate you. We regard you. Please come back.
Yes.
Thank you. Until next time, everybody, it's been another great episode of Naturally Unbothered.
Bye.
See you guys. Love you.